Hi, my name is Journey. This is Unknown Blackness with Journey, where we explore topics that may be a void of blackness. We heal and create light in our hearts. Thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, you guys. Today we're going to get on some topics. I know I've been procrastinating this for a long time. I had a podcast on Apple and I would like to move it to YouTube. So, with that being said, I'm going to start on a topic that most people say they know what it is, but they don't really know what love is. Can I get an amen? And what y'all do? The two fingers touching. Yeah, I crack myself up. Anyways, we're going to talk about love. Love. And people really don't know what love is and what it inquires. And I have a few definitions of love, and we're going to go over them. And I would love to hear you guys' opinions in the comments. And we're going to go over different experiences of love, actions of love, different types of love. Like, affection, unconditional love, platonic, because you hold love of platonic, right? Because that ain't really nothing. That's just friendship. And then some of you do the little friendship with benefits, and it just never work out. It just never works out. So, save yourself, baby. Anyways, love. Okay, so this is in the dictionary. So we have love now. Strong affection for another arising out of kinship and other personal tie. Love, loving, verb. To feel affection for, to hold dear, to feel a lover's passion, devotion, and tenderness. Tenderness. Yes. Now, when we think of that, we think of maybe like a touch, a feel, maybe a breath on the neck, soft kisses. What do we think of when we think of affection? I like maybe a soft touch on the hip, maybe a grabbing on the hips. At night, when you're laying in the bed, maybe put it on my leg or, put it on my backside. I like that. That's, I like that. I also like to think of affection as little things, as such as you bringing things like you may have saw that I needed. Hey, I saw you needed. My guy got an emergency blanket. Okay, like a fire emergency blanket, and I thought that was cute because like that shows like maybe that's that person's love language, making you feel safe, making sure you feel um and like you have everything you need to get through if something happens, like an emergency happens. So, some people don't know this, some people may. And this version I got from the Bible. I think this is a perfect example of love. Whether you want to say, hey, this isn't love or not, but this right here is what you call love, and maybe a little bit more, okay? Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others. And I'm clapping, I got those two fingers touching right now, okay? It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. And we're going to get to that because life gets and you're like, oh, you did that wrong. You did that wrong. You did that wrong. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with truth. So that means y'all tell the truth, okay? No matter how much you don't want to tell the truth, you need to tell the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. That means it don't run, okay? Love will never run from you. Real love will never run, okay? Love never fails. And that continues on to, 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. My favorite part, love never fails. Love is patient, love is kind, It does not envy. Another one of my favorite lines in here is it's not self-seeking. Hold on, because my two fingers was touching with this one. It keeps no records of wrong, but rejoice with the truth. Gosh, the truth, it always protects. Like I can say this whole thing. I love every single part of it. And most people, they're not patient with love. They run from love, and sometimes they're afraid of love, or they don't know what love looks like really, because most of the love they have received is toxic. So when they do find someone who genuinely wants to love them, maybe they kind of push them off, or maybe it's too kind. Okay? Because there's a difference between nice and kind. All right? It does not envy. Like that person that you love, you don't envy that person. You work together with that person and you make that person feel whole, make them feel seen or heard. It's okay for a good friendly competition now. I went to Top Golf about maybe 2 weeks ago. He was competitive and I still beat him. I always come hard the first time because I already know he's competitive. He won that one time. He ate that one time. So I think that's kind of, what it's talking about. It's not proud. Okay? Does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. Okay? It's not all about you, or me. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrong. So when I think of that, I think of, like when you get into an argument and you keeping those tabs and you bring all of that out, I feel like you're keeping a record of wrong. And I'm guilty of that too. Like everybody's done that before. I don't think there's not a person in this world that haven't maybe, took it there. You real love, you're not supposed to. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice in the truth. I mean, them lies you telling is not delightful, but you can rejoice in the truth. Your heart, your soul, it'll feel a lot lighter if you just tell the truth. Not only for yourself, but for that other person. It always protects, it always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. And that's a beautiful sentence. Always protects. And women, you love to feel safe. Like every woman loves to feel safe. And I think a man's way of feeling safe in a relationship is, how a woman carries herself and how she carries herself when he's not around. And I say that because, if your partner loves you, they'll always want to make sure you're safe. Transparency, in a way of transparency, right? You'll call that person and say, hey, I'm on the way home. Or, hey, I'm just calling to let you know I'm home safely. I don't think that's a bad thing just because, that person, you're letting that person know, hey, I made it home safe. You're saying, hey, I'm gonna go to the store, and you may do that with your parents, you may do that with your sisters, it's transparency. So someone will know where you are. If something happens, always trust. And that's the hardest part, because if someone breaks your trust, say for instance, if someone breaks your trust, it's hard for you to gain that trust back, because it creates a trauma and it creates a barrier within yourself for you to trust not only that person, but everyone that's kind of around you. It creates a barrier with everyone. And it blocks everyone, not just one person, but everyone. So don't break the trust. Always hope for a better future. Always manifest that greater knowledge, that greater bond and trust between the two. That's that's what I get from that. Emotional experiences. So I'm going to get into some different types of experiences when you think about love. A profound feeling of affection, tenderness, sensitivity to other needs, joy and pleasure in helping others, Emotional attachment. So when it's like an emotional experience of love, those are the things you think of, like tenderness, like your sensitivity to others, making sure you're being there for others. And I'm talking about love on a broad sense, not just relationships, but relationships with everyone. Profound feeling of affection. Affection, like I said, it can be anything as far as small little gifts of affection, a hug, a long walk in the park. You give your kids a lot of affection, I would hope. Long hugs, long conversations, and kind of getting to know who they are and what their experience of that day was like, or what their experience is like from their eye lens. So that's like a emotional experience, creating emotional attachment to that person. Action, when you're putting action, you're kind of proactive care. Like you already know that person and what that person likes. So if I know my daughter, she likes a snack when she gets out of school, I know she's gonna hungry. So I don't, love, I'm gonna make sure she has that snack. It's just something you already are programmed to do for someone you love. Sacrificing for that person, and making sure that person have the things that they need. You sacrifice every day for your children in your house and home. Commitment, being committed to the action of being there, being physically, emotionally present for that person, being selflessness, taking yourself from out of it and helping others despite getting anything from out of it. You're not expecting anything out of it. You're just, hey, I'm doing this because I know this is what needs to happen. This is what you need. Heights. Passionate, romantic, strong sexual, physical attraction, intense emotions, family, loved ones, things like that. Like you give them affection. So that should come easily. Unconditional. Okay. Unconditional to me is selfless care for others without expecting reciprocation. And like I just said a moment ago, like you expect nothing out of it. Like you don't bat twice. You go do it no matter the risk. You know you'll get it 10 times fold, right? Because like when you make those sacrifices, you always get it back with unconditional love. No matter what the circumstances are, you go to bat for them. Platonic, strong bonds stemming from kinship or just deep friendship, and that's just your friends. Like yeah, I love you. You have those friends. You're like, oh my gosh, I love you. But it's just love. Is all love. So I want to talk about what what does love do to the brain and what does it do to the brain chemistry. So love activates the brain reward system. And it also said it released high levels of dopamine, addictive euphoria, like a dopamine euphoria. And it makes you feel alive and your heart feels alive. And it feels good to feel loved. It feels good to be in love. It feels good to give love. And it shouldn't be like now in these days, like everybody feels like love is extendable. And it really shouldn't be like that. And that's why I wanted to make the first episode about love because love is a beautiful thing. Love yourself, love everyone around you, and I think that's what the world is missing. And I think that's what our community is missing is the unconditional love. We have the love, but like it's conditional. And that goes from building our friendships back, building our family relationships back, building our family homes as being one, building those families back together. If I was like to break it down, like everybody wants to be accepted, valued, that sacrifice and that communication. That we want when it comes to love. We want it communicated that, hey, I received the love, and we all want to feel valued. No matter where that value is coming from, whether it's coming from your kids, whether it's coming from your parents, or you're you're giving love to your parents and your friends and whoever you wanted to extend that love and that grace to, but we have to get back to more of a love base, because the Most High is love and we are a part of the Most High. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that out. You guys like, comment, and also share down in the comments. I also have other videos coming up, and we're gonna talk about more. We're gonna talk about love, but we're gonna talk about on the next episode, but we're gonna talk about love in a different concept. We're gonna talk about it in a point of view as is seen on social media, and kind of compare it and see how it affects us on a spiritual level. So what we see through our eyes can also affect us with how we feel in the inside if we don't have discernment, and if we're not looking for those things, if we don't see those signs. So I really want us to come back to love and know what love is, and how to receive love, and how to give love, how to also walk away when that love isn't being valued. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Journey. You have an awesome day.